Well, what have we got here then? The biggest fight of the year, the rematch. Andy Ruiz against Anthony Joshua for the unified world heavyweight titles. Who would have thought it, who would have seen it? Saudi Arabia, December the 7th, live and exclusive on DAZN across America, and exclusive on Sky Sports box office in the UK, and of course with all our broadcasters all over the world. We want to thank people for making it possible. Of course, I just mentioned the broadcasters. We want to thank Omar Khalil from Skills Challenge Entertainment. We want to thank the GSA in Saudi Arabia, Prince Khalid, who is here with us today, who would not let this fight go. You know, we were there, we were set for Cardiff, we said no. Times are changing, things are changing. This is the biggest fight in boxing. We want this fight in Saudi Arabia, and he got it. Shannon Briggs, how you doing at the back there? Thank you. Yesterday, we all experienced something quite unique. The hospitality that we received in Saudi Arabia was first class, but the event production, the logistics in Didia, which completely took my breath away. Having grown up around this sport and been involved in this sport for more than 30 years, I'm realising that there is a new force in world boxing and we have to embrace that. And on December the 7th, you will witness an event that you will never forget. Major heavyweight fights of the past, where the venues took people by surprise. The Rumble in the Jungle, the Thriller in Manila. Trust me when I say this event is of the same ilk. On June the 1st, we brought a sold-out Madison Square Gardens to their feet with these two warriors. One of the fights of the year, one of the great upsets of heavyweight boxing. Perhaps this man didn't believe it was an upset, but now the whole world is watching for the rematch, and it will be truly epic. I want to bring a few people to the stage before we talk to the fighters' teams. This young man on my right has come into the sport of boxing after a couple of months. He said he doesn't know how long he's going to last in the sport of boxing because it is a unique business. He's still here, he's still thriving. Because this is the thing about boxing, isn't it? Once you touch it, once you feel it, it will never leave you. And this is what the Middle East is also going to experience when they see this great sport in their region. DAZN has been a revelation for fight fans. We started 8 or 9 months ago. People said, oh, this will never last. Who are they going to get? Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz, #1. Canelo Alvarez, Danny Jacobs, Alexander Usyk, Gennady Golovkin, Devin Haney next week at the Garden. The schedule is out of this world. Sprinkle in a little bit of KSI Logan Paul to keep all you hardcore journalists really happy at the sold-out Staples Arena, and you are going to see a new dawn of boxing via this wonderful new platform in DAZN. Ladies and gentlemen, the MVP from DAZN, Joseph Markowski.
To welcome you to the stage. Thanks to our friends and partners on stage with us today. After a lot of chat and a lot of bluster over the summer, two things to us at DAZN are pretty clear right now. Ruiz Joshua 2 is clearly the most anticipated fight of 2019, and DAZN are building a schedule towards the end of the year the sport has never seen the likes of before. A full season of quality fight sports matchups, really rivaling top-tier seasons of sports across the United States. When we launched in the US last September, less than a year ago, it's often easy to forget that. A lot of people in the room today wrote us off. But in the course of less than 1 year, we have entirely reshaped the boxing landscape by focusing on a very clear mission statement: to bring the best schedule of fights to fans at affordable price points. The DAZN calendar at year-end really does say it all. Bright young stars like Devin Haney, like Jaime Munguia and Ryan Garcia. Champion versus champion unification matchups like Regis Prograis against Josh Taylor. And the world's biggest fighters in championship bouts. We'll soon announce Canelo's next opponents. Gennady Golovkin is is back in championship contention, and of course, the two men on stage today, Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz, in, as I said, the most anticipated rematch of 2019. In June, the first fight between these two gentlemen captivated the world of boxing, and well beyond that. The front cover of the New York Times, the back page of Sports Illustrated, Jimmy Kimmel, Joe Rogan, you couldn't miss it. It transcended the sport of boxing, and it transcended the hardcore boxing fans. And now we're very proud of the rematch, the biggest heavyweight upset of 2019, and years before that we live again on the Zone. Both of these warriors will be back on the Zone on December the 7th, and that will be a day that will be remembered in the sport of boxing for many years to come. So we thank all of our friends in the media for attending today, all of our partners on stage, and we look forward to seeing you all back on the Zone very, very soon. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Joseph. Before the madness of boxing over the last couple of years, one partner has been with us forever, really, from our inception into sport boxing in Sky Sports in the UK. We've been their exclusive promoter for many years now, and there's no place we'd rather be, because like us, they have a passion for the sport. Through Barney Francis over the last few years, who's continuously supported major events. Of course, Anthony Joshua, who has exploded the sport of boxing in the UK with sellouts and record crowds of 90,000 at Wembley, 80,000 at the Millennium Stadium. And we're very lucky to have these guys as partners, because their support for boxing has never quit through the years. And I want to bring up the head of boxing for Sky Sports, Adam Smith.
Thanks, Eddie. We've been covering boxing on Sky for some 30 years, and we've covered some magnificent moments. I remember coming here when Nassim Hamid, the Prince, stunned New York, lit up the place, lit up the Garden in that Fire Fest with Kevin Kelly. We've had fantastic journeys with the likes of Lennox Lewis, of course with Joe Calzaghe, Ricky Hatton, David Hay, Carl Froch, Amir Khan, many others. And we've been alongside Anthony Joshua since he turned pro in 2013. Unbeaten, expected to get through the test on his debut at the Garden in New York on June the 1st, and look what happened. We never know in boxing. This guy to my right I met 5 weeks before in Las Vegas, and he told me he'd win. He told me him and his team believed, no one else did. They came and they shocked the world, and that is what boxing does. What a rematch we have in store. Can Anthony Joshua right that wrong? Can Andy Ruiz continue to make these dreams possible? He believed it deep down, and maybe no one else did. And maybe they will this time. Maybe they will believe that it can be repeated. AJ and his team have got to go back to the drawing board. They've got to get it right this time. We're right behind him, as we have been for many years. He's been a wonderful ambassador for Sky and for Britain, and Andy Ruiz has been great for the sport of boxing. So, it was one of the great upsets in the sport of boxing, certainly that I've seen. Lennox Lewis being knocked out by Oliver McCall and Hasim Rahman. They probably the only two that I've seen with my eyes that matched up to what we saw at the Garden and witnessed on that amazing night on June the 1st. Back in New York here, we've just been to Saudi Arabia. What a fascinating 24 hours there. Thank you, Prince Khalid and everybody. It was a real eye-opener. It's going to be some event on December the 7th, and we at Sky are right behind it, and my team will be delivering you a wonderful experience, and let's hope we get as dramatic a fight again on December the 7th, and who knows who'll win. That's the beauty of our sport. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. We're going to go to the teams now. We're going to start with the champion. We've got an extra man up here. In the life of Andy Ruiz, of course, his father. I think there was many more proud individuals at Madison Square Garden that night on June the 1st than Andy Ruiz Sr. Right now, I'm going to welcome up to say a few words, Andy Ruiz Sr.
Las gracias a todo el público, a toda la prensa que vino, al príncipe de Arabia Saudita, que mucha gente cree que hay terrorismo allá. Es una ciudad muy segura. Invitamos a todos los mexicanos para que asistan allá. y va a ser una pelea magnífica, dura para mi hijo, dura para Anthony Joshua, un gran hombre Anthony Joshua, Eddie Hearns, que hizo la pelea, y vamos preparados para todos, y vamos con todo, y vamos a salir victoriosos de la pelea esta. Vamos a hacer historia en Arabia y traernos los títulos para México y Estados Unidos. ¡Arriba México!
I'll just translate that. He said that he's not sure his son can do it again, but he's going to try, but he thinks that for this occasion, AJ will get the win. Thank you. Now, a man that's in charge of trying to get that victory for Anthony Joshua, a man that has been by his side from the early days, before those World Championship silver medals, before those Olympic gold medals. The head trainer for Anthony Joshua, Robert McCracken.
Yeah, it was a pretty tough night during the first. Anthony losing his titles to Andy Ruiz. Don't think Andy was himself that night, but at the same time, that looks like an excuse, because Andy Ruiz was fantastic on the night, and he is a very, very good fighter. We already knew that, and we know he'll be even better prepared. Him and Manny will go and work hard with his dad, and they'll be in tip-top shape for the rematch in Saudi Arabia. So Anthony knows what he's facing, and I do as well, because I took a little bit of flack as well from the loss. I've got no problem with that. I'm the head coach. I'm accountable. So I believe, and I wouldn't have said, yeah, we'll do the rematch if I didn't think Anthony could get his titles back and get the win. It's going to be a big camp for us. It's going to be a tough one. And Anthony's motivated because he knows what's in front of him, and his sole mission is to get the belts back. I think what boxing's going to gain is two nice guys who are great fighters, and I think we're going to get a great fight December 7th in Saudi, and it's going to be fantastic. Thank you.
We go to the head trainer for Andy Ruiz. Of course, the iconic pictures of them both celebrating in the ring at Madison Square Garden have been everywhere. We're sick of seeing them now, to be honest with you, but Manny Robles believed his charge could win, and now he has the job of keeping him focused to try and win this very important rematch. The head trainer for Andy Ruiz Jr, Manny Robles.
Thank you everyone for being here today. I'd like to thank the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for having us and giving us that warm welcome that we had yesterday. It was unbelievable. Obviously, to thank the city of New York. This is where we made history. We believed in ourselves, plain and simple. Styles make fights, and I believe that Andy had the style to beat Anthony Joshua. I've been following Anthony Joshua for a very long time. Since 2009 at the World Championships, I became a fan of his. He's an incredible fighter. To me, he was pound for pound the best heavyweight champion up until he lost to Andy, of course. But nonetheless, he's a great fighter. He's an incredible person, incredible individual. I have nothing but the utmost respect for him. But I work with Andy. This is my man. And, we're going to have more time to prepare this second time around. We're going to do a better camp. You'll see a better, faster, slimmer, better shape, better everything. Andy Ruiz this second time around. And I will promise the fans, promise the media, the fans, and everyone that you will see a great fight that night. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Manny. We move on to, without question, the two most fighters, the guys that gave it everything in front of our eyes on June the 1st, and on December 7th they will do it all over again. Firstly, and it's unique, calling this man up first as a challenger, the former Olympic gold medalist, the former unified world heavyweight champion, Anthony Joshua.
Good afternoon everyone, I hope everyone's well. Like I say, boxing, and more boxing. In my short 11-year career from the amateurs to the pros, I say I've seen a lot. I wouldn't say I've seen it all yet, but I've definitely seen a lot. There's times that I face defeat as an amateur in my third fight. And imagine I would have stopped there. I'll be there now. I lost in the European quarterfinals. Imagine I stopped there. I'll be there now. I lost in the World Championship finals. Imagine I stopped there. I'll be there now. So I feel like stopping isn't in my DNA. Continue, as long as I have breath in me, I'll keep on fighting for the passion of boxing, more so to carry the sport as an ambassador of the sport and for an ambassador of championship level fighting. I feel like that's where I belong. You know, ever since I got into boxing, I've just tried to rise to the top. Never wanted to be mediocre with it. I'm born with a fighting spirit. I know how to fight. The blessing is that people reflecting as you lost the titles, you lost your titles. I always say that to lose something is to never get it back. I lost X, that means that you're never going to get it back. But I believe and I'm certain I have a second chance, 7-7. We didn't have no warm-up fights. I'm not gun shy. I'm looking forward to getting back in at the 7-7 and reclaiming my belts. Shannon Briggs, can I get a let's go champ?
Let's go champ!
Can I get a let's go champ?
Let's go champ!
Can I get a let's go champ?
Let's go champ!
I'm talking about let's go champ. Shannon Briggs talks about the times he was down and out and nobody believed in him. I think everyone in this room has been through certain things where nobody believed in them. And nobody in this room would be here if they gave up. And that's where let's go champ comes into my life right now.
Let's go champ! Yeah! Let's go, champ!
Thank you, AJ. And now the man that, of course, caused that upset on June the 1st, shocked so many people, maybe not himself and his team, but ever since we've seen him on just about every network, every sports program, every news program, every entertainment program possible. We've seen and we followed with interest the Instagram, the ice on the wrists, the new mansion, the Rolls Royce. He's earned it all. He's earned it all. And on December 7th, like AJ said yesterday, the belts go in the air and the best man will win. Ladies and gentlemen, the current unified world heavyweight champion, Andy Ruiz.
Vamos, campeón!
First of all, I want to thank God, without this, without him, this wouldn't have happened. My team, Al Heyman, Eddie Hearn, all my loved ones. But you know what, I'm happy to be here in New York, This is where everything happened, where I became the first Mexican heavyweight champion of the world, when I made history. But I know he wants his belts back. I know he does. I know how it feels to lose. I lost against Parker when I thought I won the fight. But he could bounce back. But my job is for him not to win, for him not to get these belts. I've been through so much. I know a lot of people's been through so much stuff, but I've been through so many roller coasters in my life, so many doubters in my life that have been telling me I was going to do nothing just because of my appearance and the way I look. But at least, I think I'm a proof where people can say, man, if he did it, I could do it. That's right. And they could. As long as you train hard, you dedicate yourself, and you believe what you want to do. So, what I believe in December 7th, the same results is going to happen. I'm going to train my ass off. God's in my side, and we're going to win. Para México, vamos a ganar todo. Vamos a regresar estos cinturones para México. Como tengo la sangre de mexicanos y con todo mi equipo, y vamos a lograr todo. Gracias a Dios, toda la gente. Gracias.
This is the fight, Shannon Briggs. You're correct. This is the fight. This is the fight of the year. And I just want to say as well, what two great individuals. This is such a beautiful, brutal sport. And every fighter deserves so much respect. These two are great role models, great ambassadors. And this is the fight of the year. This may be the heavyweight fight of the century. This may be the heavyweight occasion of our generation. On December the 7th, in Saudi Arabia, in Diriyah, in a purpose-built arena, 16,000 people will come together, but the world will be watching, an iconic moment for our sport. I want to thank both teams. Saudi Arabia yesterday, New York today, we've got one more to go. London tomorrow.
I'll be there.
Are you? Oh, blimey.
I'll be there.
Cancel his train ticket, please, his plane ticket. Thank you, Shannon, and thanks for all the media to coming out today. Of course, thank you so much to Sky Sports and DAZN. We're going to have a head-to-head up here now, continue the media as well. You're all welcome on December the 7th. Don't believe everything you hear. I was there yesterday. What a place, what a moment this is going to be on December the 7th. Thank you so much.